Happy Thursday. It's another meal prep video using bits and bobs up that's either gone past the best before date or just trying to use up, trying to be inventive with rice. I said that I'd do either a rice or a pasta dish next, and here we are. Right, so this will be a little bit more interesting than you think, Not mega, It's been one of them days, and yeah, I'll kind of go into it a little bit with you. So this is beef in black bean and red pepper sauce. It's Thursday. I don't drink during the week, but I'm having one tonight. Always falling off the wagon as Terry. That old chestnut. No, there's a reason, and I will go into that. And it's like I said before, that there are drinks, there are alcoholic drinks that you can pour yourself that are bad for you. They're just bad for you, Any spirit that's got a colour in it is going to give you a hangover because it's a dirty drink. I drink clean drinks. So this is vodka, and again, like I said, I'll explain. I haven't fallen off the wagon. I'll go into that in a minute. Vodka is a very clean drink, and so is gin. And if you can buy organic red wine, that's actually really good for you. In moderation, don't drink 4 bottles of the stuff and get smashed. In moderation, because red wine, good quality organic red wine, it does something to your it helps the lining of your arteries. So it helps to shift, the plaque, the shit that clogs up your arteries, it helps to shift that. So good quality red wine. It's a good double. So good double. And again, I'll tell you why in a minute. So a very good double, maybe a triple, a European double, a triple to us. That'll probably cost you about a tenner in this country. And they wonder why people are drinking at home and not going to the pub anymore, for now, till we get our world back. So it's vodka, apple juice, freshly pressed. So it's like, it's not going to be organic stuff, but it's proper, It's not from concentrate, and then topped up with tonic water. So it's a clean drink. Let's get, and do you know what? Anyone that can hear me gulping, when I hear people gulping drinks on videos, on YouTube videos that I watch, it drives me fucking crazy. It's an actual phobia. I'll see if I can remember what it was, and I'll put it in the comments section. But it is a phobia, It drives people nuts. So I'm aware of the fact that you might be able to hear me drinking, because it would drive me nuts. Most people won't even notice it, They might actually double tap that side of the screen, go back and have a listen to me again, and not be bothered by it. But there'll be other people that yeah. So this dish, one whole red onion fried and reduced. I bought more reduced. I like to save money. We all like to save money now more than ever. So it was £1.10 and it was down to 66p. I go through a lot of onions. I love onions. I love them, especially red onions. So I've got 5 now. So I bought 2 that were reduced. One whole red onion fried. 1 shop bought red pepper there. 5 de-seeded, finely chopped finger chilies. that I just added to the sauce. Don't fry them. And they're the ones that I've pickled that will keep for months and months and months. If you go to Asda, Tesco, anywhere like that, please consider buying these big bottles of pickling vinegar. Please, because it's going to make your produce last a lot longer. And I'll mention another thing about garden produce in a minute as well, that a lot of you all know, but you might not know the actual details of it. And I'm just going to skip along that. So yeah, the finger chilies, you know, these long green ones, I put 5 of them in there, de-seeded, and then finely chopped, and then added to the final thing. Yeah. And there have been people that have commented and said, can you stop moving the camera around? Well, if I stop moving the camera around, all you'd see is that and nothing else. So I'm just trying to do my job, because it is a job, you know. It is a job, an unpaid job. We've got to help each other. We have. 5 pickled garlic cloves, finely chopped, out of there, from last year, start of last year. Half a kilo of dehydrated mushrooms. To anyone that's not watched the previous cooking video, these were bought fresh and then dehydrated in my dehydrator, and then vac packed away with 3 little food grade silica bags to keep it, or 4, I don't know, 3, to keep them, to make sure that any moisture that's left in there is just sucked away. And they were done on the 6th, so June last year. Again, to anyone that's not watched that video, just boil them, bring them to the boil, pour them in there, put loads of water in there, preferably filtered, good clean water, no fluoride shit in there. Bring it to the boil, let it simmer for half an hour, and you're good to go. So yeah, you know, well over a year old, no problem. And to anyone that gets irritated by these disclaimers, I've got to do them, because there are muppets out there that will go, I ended up with food poisoning because of that bastard, and I'm not having any of that shit. I can't be doing any more shit on my plate, especially right now. And I'll explain after I've gone through this dish with you. I wish I'd gone through the dish first and then explained everything afterwards, but I'm not going to start a new video. So yeah, 5 pickled garlic cloves. I'm going to show you this afterwards, so you can just go through it at your own leisure, and you can just like rewind the video and then screenshot it, and then maybe kind of go back and listen to me again on how it was prepared. So yeah, there's about half a kilo in there that were dehydrated. It's amazing how little space they take up. And then there was this sauce here, February. I have got other things, other jars that could have been used up before that one, but I'm not in a mad rush and I know what I'm doing. So yeah, disclaimer, it's up to you if you use out-of-date food. If you get sick, I've not got sick, not once. If you get sick, it's on you, right? If you get sick, it's because you've not been doing it right, and you've not used your sensors, and this channel's probably not good for you. 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, without any palm oil, no palm oil. And a lot of people, when they open stuff like this, so this peanut butter here, where is it? There. So it's coming up to, you know, not far off a year beyond the date. I've been putting this shit on toast, you know, still alive. I'm not weeing out of my arse. I'm fine. But stuff like this that's got no palm oil in it, you'll end up with loads of fat that rests on the top. So you might have to periodically stir it if you don't use it on a daily basis. You might have to stir it up. That's because there's no palm oil in there. It's a natural thing, you know, so don't worry about that. When you open some peanut butter and it's got loads of oil on the top, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's normal. It's natural. In fact, if anything, that's a good sign that you've got some pretty decent peanut butter there. So two very, very heaped teaspoons of peanut butter went in there. And by the way, when I'd just done that, because I'd got to that process before I'd put that in there, I'd just gotten to that process and with the peanut butter, and that just made an amazing sauce on its own, to the point where I was deliberating on whether or not to add that, but I did. And then 60 grams of cashew nuts, you know, like the last pack that I chucked in. Was it the last one or the one before? That's a little bit, that's kind of my little signature thing, you know. I love cashew nuts in a dish. You've got that nice crunch, and cashew nuts are good for you. And so that's pretty much it. So red onion, red pepper, chilies, garlic, mushrooms, black bean and red pepper sauce, peanut butter and cashew nuts. That's pretty much it. But the onions, the red peppers, fry them up first, because it's just better. It brings out the flavour in both of them. The rice is just basmati rice, of which I've probably got more rice in stock than the average small shop. You know, I shouldn't really say that, but I've said it now. So you're probably wondering why is it not white? That's because I put a teaspoon, although putting a tablespoon in there of paprika is fine too. Teaspoon or a tablespoon. I'm wishing I'd put a tablespoon in there, because it would have been a little bit more flavoursome than it is. But there's a lot of flavour packed into that. So all that's in that rice is, I don't know if you can make out little black dots. That's that. So it's very coarsely ground black pepper, and then a teaspoon of ground paprika. You know, that's my second one. It's been a right shitty day. And let me explain why. So I don't know if I've shown you that or not, you know, but they're the mushrooms. You know, this is all real. I don't bullshit you, you know. I don't like bullshitters. Bullshitters piss me off. Oh, I've missed something off. And then these. So this was meant to be £3.50 for 4 slices of beef. I mean, if you read that, it's meant to be pretty half decent, you know, half decent beef. And it was reduced down to £1.79. I was going to put 2 packs of that in there. I'll show you what it looks like. Co-op's all right, you know. You know, when you, because the quality of the stuff in there is not bad. And this is what the beef looks like. You just get 4 slices in there. It's still dehydrating, because I was going to put both packs in there. But then by the time I started breaking it up and putting it into the pan, I realised that it was enough. You know, that was more than enough. So some decent topside beef, 4 slices. I chopped them up and stuck it in the pan. And this is the result. I don't want to waffle on too much, because I'll tell you what, I'm Hank Marvin. You know, I've not eaten today because of what's happened today. So the reason I'm treating myself to, I'll try and go quietly. I'll pull the camera away. And then I'll put in the comments what this phobia is. And I've had it all my life. All my life. It's horrible. It's because in the space of, what, 2 days? So in 2 days. So I got up this morning and came down the stairs. Storm was on one of the stairs, on one of the steps. not budging. Don't worry, I've got some more interesting stuff after this. I do try my best to make my videos interesting. I really do. It's not easy, you know. You should try it. So, just like anyone else that loves their dogs, instead of kind of getting her to shift out of the way, I just stepped over her and made a brew. Which is the first thing I do in the morning. I have a brew. You know, I'm a proper Englishman. And even though tea's not generally grown in England, it is now. And she wouldn't move, so I made my brew, and I was pottering on with a few things, and she was whining. She was still on the step, so I didn't realise that she was on the step because she couldn't get off the step. So at some point during either the early hours or this morning, I think she must have fallen down the stairs. So I got stung by Zephyr at the vets because of these bald patches. And I do think there's something in that, because I'm hearing more and more from more people. Got stung by Zephyr, and then I've been at the vets with Storm today, because I think there might be a spinal injury. So she was injected with a painkiller, which doesn't seem to be working. She had a scan, so her bladder's full. She's in too much pain to be able to squat down and have a piss. And I've got no conclusion as to what's wrong with her. No conclusion as to what's wrong with Storm now, because they couldn't give me any definitive diagnosis. And so yeah, it's been a shitty day. So that's one of the reasons why I'm having a drink. That's one. The other reason is it's my birthday. And I had plans, but my girls are my priority. So I've got to keep an eye on them. What else was I going to say? What else was I going to talk about? Right. So, to those of you out there who have still got a shitload of tomatoes that haven't ripened, and I'm one of them. I've got loads of massive tomatoes out there, massive, and they're all green. So I knew for a fact that bananas are really, 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 really good for ripening stuff up. So what I've done is I've been bringing them through like 3 at a time, because they're all right on the plant at the moment. You know, they can handle 1 or 2 mild frosts, which is pretty much all we're going to get this time of year, so don't worry. You are better off if you can bring them in, you know, you are, but it's not always possible. I know that. So yeah, bring in 2 or 3 or 4 at a time and leave them next to your bananas. And even if you don't like bananas, just buy a couple. Buy them green, so that they've got they'll last longer. They'll start to ripen. As they start to ripen, the more that they ripen, the more they give off something called ethylene gas. And it's the ethylene gas that ripening bananas give off that ripen up anything that's not ripe around them. So it's just a really, really natural way of ripening your peppers, your tomatoes, or anything else that needs ripening. It just speeds the process up. It's natural, it's good. So I hope you've got something out of this, you know. And yeah, I didn't mean to make this a negative video. It's just been a shit day. So yeah, this is I've spilt something on there. I've got no idea what I've spilt on there. So yeah, it's a really nice dish, you know. And again, it's another dish that you can mess about with. And I'll turn it that way around so you can screenshot it. So you can make it your own, you know. Just take certain things out, add other things in there, and they're just frozen peas in with the black pepper and the paprika. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. And yeah, rev up for the weekend. Much love. Ciao for now.